Hello friends, it's Armstrong here from Adai Miniatures, and today I'm building some more spaceships. I think that this is not usable, but let's just get into it. We're going to be building some more of the ancient civilization ships. You know, I'm actually building all of them on the same day. I just want to have a couple of them cracked out so I can then focus on other videos. So I still have, the same setup in here. So we have all of the little bits and nubbins, available. And yeah, I'm just thinking about, first of all, length. Then second thing, how thick we want it. Because, like that angelfish that I built, that was actually quite cool build. And I already have two somewhat like we have small scale, we have a bigger scale. The problem with this entire thing and the fins on it is, if I want to scale it down to a fighter size, uh, I don't gonna have small enough pegs to actually fill as those fins. So that's another thing that the smaller I go, the least of an visual language I can introduce to keep the entire thing, uh, recognizable. But yeah, let's just start building. So we're gonna try to use the smaller pegs for this build, mainly, not only, because we're gonna be obviously using everything that we have available. But I want to see, what I can do with those smaller ones. So I'm gonna literally just assemble 3 of them together. This is the thing about them. They are actually cut from bamboo, so there is a wiggle room in here and a lot of it. And to get rid of that, I would have to sand it, and simply enough, I'm not willing to take that responsibility in my hands, because I still haven't purchased the sand, the belt sander that I have in my basket in Amazon for like 3 months, because then I would have to order some sort of a vacuum setup and everything. And again, that's just piling up. And so far, I don't have the workshop to actually work miniatures separately. This is all in my living room. So yeah, thank you, but no thank you. I don't want to have more dust in here. I already have problems with, cleaning up after I make big project. So now let's try this. This kind of look like the Machop, the little rock that could, uh, from Pokemon. Yeah. But I like really the idea of the orb. Yeah. So let's just see if we can squeeze one in here. No, that's a little bit too big. And I'm assuming that the one my size down gonna be a little bit too small. Um, just a tiny bit. But if I put it like this, that actually fits. All right, okay. So now, okay, I have my juices, kind of working. We have those smaller orbs that I use all the time because they are just the perfect tiny size. But what I can do, I can just glue them in here. Yeah, and come on. You see, that's the problem. Like I always complain about the roughness of the pegs, but those orbs are perfectly flattened. Yeah, and they absorb the glue like it is their job. And then you cannot glue anything to them because they just dry out so quickly. And if you want to align something, you usually get super glue on your fingers. Please work, please work. Nope. Come on. Look at that. Like with the... Okay, I lost that orb. with the amount of super glue that I applied in here, yeah, that all should be attached, but nope. It refuses to cooperate with me. Let's try this way. Come on. Come on. Okay, I have maybe silly idea. Let's try this. All right. Whew, that's one side. The other side to go. Now, let's try it. All right. So that kind of works. I'm gonna leave it for a minute because my dog wants to go out, so I gotta be right back. All right. So I think with this little nibbly knobbly piece is dry, and my fingers are a little bit less covered in super glue. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it in here in between those two, and that's gonna be like, you know, something that can spin and some sort of a weapon, yeah. So now let's just add this, and we're gonna just do this to cover those holes. Sorry, just why am I apologizing all the time today? It's just one of those days. I apologize for existing. You can see that the problem is as well, this isn't exactly as it should be. All right, but we're gonna put this in here, yeah, squeeze it, and that's gonna be our little weapon system, I guess. Let's just give it a little bit of wiggle of super glue. Oh my goodness, I'm running through super glue like crazy today. Let's just grab another tube. And another nozzle. That's how I organize this. Everything separately. All right. So there we go. That's gonna get soaked in super glue. All right, and now what we gonna do? I want to build this up because this is our bulk of the ship. This is the main body. And I just wonder if I want to keep it so small, or do I want to just make it bigger? Because this already looks like a ship, yeah? Either way you put it, it's look like a spaceship by itself. But obviously I have a lot of pegs that I can use to make it even better looking, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start adding stuff until I eventually gonna say, oh, I went too far. Yeah, so let's try from this angle. So this thing, no, what we're gonna do, we're gonna do this way. So yep. Oh, that's just that little super glue that was already on it just connected everything, which is nice. Now let's try to do this. Like you can see, you know, like if you see my face, you would see my soul leaving my body right now. Because I'm really trying to get this, you know, built, and you know, not really lose my mind, and the pieces are just like, nope, you're gonna lose your mind today. Like, look at this. This is all bending inwards. It just it's frustrating. Yeah, maybe it's gonna be a bottom of the ship. Yeah, let's try to do it another way. And probably fail miserably, because that's what I'm expecting from this day so far. Suruś na kanapę już. Sorry, my dog is tippy-toeing around and just needed to give her some directions about where to go and what to do because otherwise she would be tippy-toeing for next 3 hours. Come on, stick, like today. All right, let's try this. So again, we are building symmetrical-ish. All right. Then we're gonna go here, just a little bit more, and blob. So, visual language for this spaceship. It's a blob of wood. There is no visual language in here. There is a visual distraction, yes, but no particular visual language. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the longer pegs to give it some slickness. But that just makes it a bigger blob. Can this save it? No, it cannot. Let's try to add that slickness that I was talking about. Let's try to salvage this ship, because I already feel like it is a lost cause, but I might be wrong. Like, I rarely am in those situations. But let's try it. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, let's give it a chance, because it isn't its fault that it looks like a blob. It is my fault that I build it like that. So let's try this. Did I pull it back enough? But as you can see, I don't even care, that the pegs are damaged. Because at this point, I feel like I lost a little bit of interest in this entire build. So yeah, it is even a bigger brick. Oh. All right. So let's just say that this is going to be the top of it. Yeah, and those going to be sides. How I can salvage this entire thing. Because my god, I hate it. Oh my. Ooh, that's harsh when you start building something and you're just like, nope, it's a piece of poop. Okay, let's just simply commit into it. Let's add a longer thing. We're gonna extend it as a spine. Maybe that's gonna help it. So let's just glue those two together first. Yeah. Come on, there we go. And glue. And you can see how horrible those pegs are. Yeah. Let's do this. Down. And we're gonna slap this on top. And we're gonna just do this. Oh, there was a crack. This is so bad. Okay, now this gives me a salvation, I guess. Not perfect salvation, but it's giving me a salvation of some sort. Ooh. More super glue on my cutting mat. Oh, come on. Okay, that's kind of working. Okay, so what we have in here is some, like, the same kind of thing that we did with the small pegs, but in here we have it with the bigger ones. It is like more lying flat. It might be extending or something. All right, that feels like it is a little bit salvaged. It's not perfect by any means. It's so clunky still. It's a little bit better, but okay, what we gonna do? More stuff. Yeah, overcommitting to this build. I should probably already scrap it, but let's overcommit. Like, I think it is the case of, it's gonna look much worse before it's gonna start looking better. All right, so we have some sort of a prongs, we have the spine that start looking better. We are missing the wings because it's just a block, and I really need those wings to do something, to save this block. They don't have to be exactly the same length, so I don't have to use those ones. And I was using them with this outside, so the only real connection point would be if we put it in one of those. But if we're gonna do this to connect this, all right. So I'm gonna do the longer ones actually for the wings. So we have two of those. They look both horrible, but like I said, this thing feels like a lost cause. Maybe it isn't. So let's just slap it in here. Yeah. And then we're gonna slap another one over here, and that should help us to establish some sort of a support for this one. So it's not gonna just fall apart. All right, that makes now a little bit more sense. I'm not convinced that I'm doing the right thing here, trying to save this project. Yeah. So guys, at the end of this video, tell me, do you think that I did the right thing, or do you think that I just over committed? And look at that. There is no freaking groove in here. Like, why? Oh, why? Let's just do this. And then for the small little fins, I can attach them on this side. So let's just try that. Now let's try to match that, like I said, the visual language. So we're gonna be doing this on the front. I know that there is no weapon in here, but maybe they did design some sort of a weapon mounts and never used them. Again, some sort of a bug. All right, this is all rough as hell. Now let's try to add our little fins, of a smaller size, because trying to keep this all kind of uniformed. Well, it doesn't look as bad as it looked, 10 minutes ago, but still. And one more. It feels like I'm just overcrowding this entire thing right now. I have so much criticism about the build that I'm making, but you guys not gonna have anything to say about this, anything bad to say about this. Oh, this is just crazy, how sometimes you just build something and you're like, nope, it doesn't work, but I'm still committed. Okay, and two more on this. Oh, and I put it the wrong way around. And now it's stuck to my finger. I feel, yeah, let's just do it, even though I know it is not spaced correctly. Let's just leave it at that. Now, what next? The engine part. In here we have much wider engine part, so we're gonna use 3 of those little pegs. One on the seam and 2 on the sides. And the same on the other side. All right. Now hexagons. Where did they put them? There they are. So we need at least 9 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9. And we're gonna put them on the wings again. Like this one doesn't have all of the cuts in it, which makes it that much easier, So 1, 2, and 3. Then we're gonna go here. And this one, it doesn't have much deeper cuts, but it does have all of them. So 1, 2. And number 3. Okay, now we need to attach this entire kind of Nurgle symbol that I was using. So we're gonna go 1. And then this is gonna be for number 2 and 3. Alright, now where are we gonna put the orbs for the command deck and the other stuff? Let's actually use a little bit bigger orbs for this one because he's chunkier. But again, 3 of the orbs. So I'm gonna put 1 in here, 1 in here. So that's gonna give us, kind of feeling that this might be actually weapons themselves. Oh wow, okay. That's another thing. I just ran out of another bottle of super glue. Probably more of it ended up on my fingers than actually on the build. But that's what I get for trusting in my guts and not planning stuff. Oh, listen, guys, it's not like I ever plan stuff. I do occasionally, but honestly, it's occasionally. Yep. So orb number 1. Oh, that actually is size-wise perfect for this entire thing. Oh, stop doing that. And I have another drop of super glue on my mat. 2 of them. Lovely. That's what I was needing. Let's just clean this up. Clean this. All right, so this ship, let's look at it, from a little bit less skeptical perspective. It's actually not as bad as it was looking at the beginning. That entire brick thing make me hate on it much more than I should. A little bit of perseverance and a little bit of, just being stubborn did actually bring it together and make it semi-decent. It is it's a big boy, yeah, big bad. But after we apply some paint, put the base on it and throw it in between other ships, it's not gonna look all that bad. So yeah, let's just do that. All right, let's go with our dry brush. Well, not really dry brush, it is now a very wet brush, but as long as it works, I'm happy. You know me, I like easy paint jobs. All right. Oh, this is so good. So easy when the brush is so wet. Oh, look at the texture on this. It actually looks awesome. As well, the fact that I cannot get into all of the nooks and crannies with this big brush it creates the illusion of the darkness in some places. And let's just give it a little bit of wiggle in here as well. For such a big boy, he actually turned out surprisingly well. After applying paint, it kind of unified everything. It looks much better. Okay, let's just put him aside and go with another one. Right, so I painted over the light spots before I turn on the camera, because I didn't, well, they are still like, yeah. And I just say hop, and then I see more. Yeah, so those ones are the hardest ones to get. I could use putty and smooth it out, but like the entire idea of the peg fleet is that you are not using fancy stuff, you are just using pegs. And putty, I would count it as a fancy stuff when it comes to this kind of things. I just, like, you wouldn't, like, not every model maker would have it in the, well, model makers, yeah, they would have them, but not everyone at home who wants to play with those spaceships would have it at home. That was what I was supposed to say, what I was thinking to say. And then, of course, my brain went la 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 la. You know me. Okay, so the bronze solar, well, hexagonal panels, like we did before. All right. And now Troll Slayer orange for the little circular devil thing in the middle. We don't know what it is. It could be a devil drive or whatever. Yeah. And if you like Warhammer 40k movies, you know that there is actually a proper 40k movie that was made like a couple of years ago. Yeah. But there is another one which is called, I think it was called Log Horizon. It was about a spaceship which was supposed to be traveling faster than light, and then the crew goes to that spaceship to find it, and basically, hell get loose because the spaceship did travel faster than light through hell. So if this isn't a introduction to Warhammer 40k, was it a Log? No, it was Log Horizon was a anime. So the movie I was thinking about is a Event Horizon. My brain, like I said, is doing its stuff. Yeah, but on the other hand, Log Horizon is a great anime if you never watched it. Yeah, so it have nothing to do with the spaceships, although they do have to go to the moon. So maybe they're gonna get a spaceship or something. Portals? We will see. Maybe. They did release a new season last year, I think, and there was no word about another one. But I would love to actually see the story progressing. All right, now let's give it time to dry, and we're gonna throw it on the spin table. And here is the headache. Yeah, the flying, menacing headache of today. I was thinking it's gonna turn out very, very bad. But now that I look at it, I actually like it. So this is one of those things, just trust the process, add stuff. And, and like I said, it was looking much, much worse before it started looking better. Yeah, there is a couple of things that really annoyed me during this build, and I was very whiny, and I gonna admit it. I was hungry, and just, my patient was absolutely lost on this build. But other than that, it's not bad. It turned out decent. It's probably uh, yeah, that's the thing, it's actually good. So I'm gonna stop complaining, yeah, but you know what to do. If you like this video, rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, and whoever else want to watch it. And everyone have a great day and take care. Bye bye.